David Henry Hong's play, M. Butterfly, follows the romance of Gallimard, a French diplomat, and Song Liling, a beautiful male Peking opera singer masquerading as a woman. Over the course of their 20-year relationship, Song uses Gallimard to collect information for the Chinese government and hides his true sex as a man. Repeatedly missing opportunities to reveal Song's male identity, Gallimard is imprisoned for aiding in Song's act of treason. He commits suicide after facing the unbearable truth that his butterfly was a man.
By having Gallimard miss the signs that Song was a man, the play M. Butterfly calls to question which holds more power, biological sex or performed gender roles. In the play, it is ultimately gender performativity that trumps sex. First, we see Song's successful performance as a woman overcasting his true sex. Then, we see another subversion of gender roles when Gallimard's weakness to Song's manipulation transforms him into a woman at the end.
Gallimard is so committed to the Western exotification of Oriental women that he fails to recognize hints of Song's biological sex.
As the play is told through mental dialogue and flashbacks of an imprisoned Gallimard, the reader is allowed to see how long he continues to love his image of Song, even after the truth is revealed.
He continually denies the truth and dreams of the Song that he loved, a woman.
Allowing Gallimard to be fooled by Song's charade, despite the signs that his sex was ambiguous, the play is in line with Judith Butler's theory of gender performativity. Butler, well known for her works on gender and sexuality, says that there is no gender identity behind the expressions of gender. Identity is performatively constituted by the very expressions that are said to be its results. In this way, our gender is a performance that we put on and is formed through repeated acts, rather than being predetermined by biological sex. With this theory in mind, we contend that Song becomes a woman through the repeated performances he plays for Gallimard for 20 years. Gallimard went to China already having constructed his idea of the true Oriental woman.
There is a vision of the Orient that I have, of slender women in cheongsams and kimonos who die for foreign devils, who are born and raised to be the perfect women. It is a vision that has become my life.
Song's fragile, shy, and apologetic behavior fit Gallimard's idea of an ideal Oriental woman.
Scene 10 provides an example.
I'm very honored that you've allowed me to visit your home.
Thank you. Oh, haven't you been poured any tea?
I'm not really...
I'm sorry, you want everything to be perfect.
Please.
And before the evening even begins.
I'm really not thirsty.
It's ruined.
Mademoiselle Song!
I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for now?
I don't know.
Exactly my point.
Oh, I am silly. Lightheaded. I promise not to apologize for anything else tonight. Do you hear me?
That's a good girl.
This is one of the many scenes in which Song makes tea for Gallimard, is hesitant to have him in his home, apologizes profusely for no reason, and attempts to dress in ways that will please him. In his performance of the domesticated mistress, Song is seen consciously exploiting Gallimard's desire for submissive Oriental women. Song's performance only confirms the theory of gender performativity.
Sex does not truly determine gender, but gender is a concept formed by cultural ideas, and the performance of gender standards are what truly defines someone's gender. We must note that there are many signs of the truth that Gallimard doesn't take into account. For instance, Song refuses to reveal his naked body to Gallimard. Even when they have sex, Song is always on his stomach. There is also a moment when Song breaks character speaking to his counterpart Chen, and asks why they still have Peking operas where males fill female roles. Gallimard is not aware of this moment.
Instead, Gallimard remains so focused on traditional gender dynamics and the power of the male, especially with regards to Oriental women, that he blindly believes Song's facade. When Gallimard asks Song to strip, but Song pleads for him to keep his clothes on, Gallimard is so overtaken by this show of female submission and virtue that his request becomes irrelevant. The amount of fragility and innocence that Song shows in his plea fulfills Gallimard's ideals. Song's cry of,
I'm helpless before my man,
is particularly triggering for the Frenchman. When they both stand in trial, guilty for treason, Song explains why Gallimard was so easily fooled.
because when he finally met his fantasy woman, he wanted more than anything to believe that she was, in fact, a woman.
We also note that in the last scene of the play, Gallimart's suicide, his actions show that gender has more to do with social construct than biological sex. In this scene, Gallimard dresses as a woman and stabs himself after saying,
Love warped my judgment, blinded my eyes, rearranged the very lines of my face, until I could look in the mirror and see nothing but a woman. My name is Renee Gallimard, also known as Madame Butterfly.
Because his ideas about gender roles were so closely defined by power, this makes him question his own gender.
When he takes on Song's role on stage as Madame Butterfly, Gallimard reverses his role as a man and becomes a woman. Consequently, at the end of the play, Gallimard is cross-dressed in Song's discarded wig and kimono, dead, and Song stands there in masculine attire. Their roles have been reversed, and once again, gender performance has powerfully trumped biological sex. Perhaps Huang is making a crucial assertion concerning identity and gender. We are what we do, or we become what we do.
In conclusion, throughout our analysis, we focus on Gallimard's perception of Song's gender and sex. For Gallimard, mired in his psychological underpinnings of the ideal Oriental woman, there was no doubt as to what Song was.
While David Henry Huang answered the question of how Gallimard viewed Song's gender and sex, left unknown is which gender Song actually self-identified as. Perhaps you can answer this elusive question.